Good morning, guys. Dragon Man here. I just want to give you guys a couple of tips putting your top end on and setting the timing when I do a rebuilt motor for you and we don't assemble the whole thing. Okay? I rebuild motors 1936 to 99. The real Harley-Davidson motors. The last real great motor Harley-Davidson put out, right here, 1999, Evo. After that, in my book, things went downhill. Okay, let me give you a couple of tips. Okay, real important. A lot of guys, they get chrome cam covers, right? They want to exchange their cam cover, you know, and they get a different cam cover, but they don't realize that the pinion shaft bushing is different. Okay, they'll both fit on there, but let me show you. This one here, the oil goes in the cam cover and then through the pinion shaft. And that would be the later model pinion shaft. See, there's no hole on the side. The hole is in the middle. And that's what oils the connecting rods. So, if you put the wrong pinion shaft in there, bushing, the rods aren't going to get oil. Yeah, this is the early pinion shaft. See, it's got the hole over there, and that gets the bushing with the hole in it, right? Now that fools a lot of people because both bushings fit in the same hole here. So if you mismatch the cam covers and you put an early one on a late motor, the rods are going to seize up. Okay? So that's one thing you got to look for. Okay, now the other problem a lot of people call me up about is adjusting the push rods. That's the biggest problem I have. They bend so many valves because they don't do it right. Okay, if you're going to have hydraulic lifters, this is a hydraulic lifter. See that? And that goes into the roller like that. Everybody knows that. But what they don't know is if you read the book, How to Adjust Hydraulic Lifters, the Harley-Davidson manual, it tells you to go 4 turns on the push rod adjustment, right? All the way down, and then turn it over to do the next one. Okay, but what they don't tell you is the lifter has to be empty, no oil in it. See, this one's a used lifter, and it's still got oil in it. So to re-bleed the lifter, this is what I do. See, you take a little piece of metal round stock like that, you put it in there, you push in here, and you push down. See the oil coming out? See that? You keep your thumb down, put the lifter in the oil, and lift it up. And you do that 2 or 3 times, and then the lifter will be as hard as a rock. Now you don't have to go 4 turns and wait for it to, fill up with oil and taking a chance. So now you put it in the, back in the roller, and you adjust it so it just spins with no up and down play, like you are adjusting a solid lifter. Okay? If you want to take your hydraulic unit out and make it solids, they sell these adapters. See, and that goes in there, and then you could adjust it without bleeding it. See, and that'll be a solid lifter. That's what I recommend. I'm not really a big fan with hydraulics, because a lot of times you get bubbles in the line and they collapse, and you hear a ticking sound. Now, a lot of people don't like solid lifters because they hear ticking sounds, and the reason is, you have to adjust them first, start the motor up, maybe let it run for 5 or 8 minutes till it warms up, and then adjust them again. This way everything expands when it gets hot and the push rod will be loose. Okay, so that takes care of the lifters. Let me tell you about the hydraulic one. Okay, this is the one that's in the Evolution, right? And the way to do that, you get it at the lowest point. You mark your adjustment like this. So you just take like a magic marker, and here's what I do. I just mark it like that. See, you put a mark on it. See, like that. And what you do is you go 3 turns. See, when the lifter is all the way down. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Okay, then you walk away, you do something else for about 5 or 6 minutes, and when you come back, you'll see it'll spin. Then you turn the motor over till you get the next one to the lowest point, and you do the same thing. And that's the way you adjust Evolution hydraulic lifters. Okay? If the push rod is too tight, what's going to happen is the valves are going to hit each other. See? Like that. And they hit on the end here, and it actually bends the valve. So it's very critical that you adjust the push rods right. That's what I get the biggest problems with. They don't know how to adjust the push rods. Okay, let's see the next problem. When I put dual spark plugs in, I use a J12Y short reach 3/8 Champion spark plug. See, short reach. Okay, the later bikes, I put dual spark plugs in, shovel heads, 77 and up, have the 3/4 reach. You don't put the 3/4 reach in the double spark plug hole because it's going to stick out too much, and the piston is going to hit the spark plug right out of the head and strip all the threads. 9/16, 14 millimeter. Okay, so if you let me do the dual spark plugs, always use the short spark plug. Okay? Okay, that's another problem that we have. Okay, another problem, Sportsters. Okay, this is the head gasket on the Sportster. See, it's got the drain holes over there. This will go 4 different directions, right? So you have to make sure your head gasket is lined up with the holes in the barrel so the oil could go back into the motor. Okay, so that's another thing people make mistakes with. Okay, another thing with the Sportsters. Okay, 1000cc, 900, it doesn't matter. The intake on top of the Sportster, 9.5 to 1 compression, is fly cut more than the exhaust side. Okay, so you have to make sure the big fly cut faces each other when you put the pistons on, facing the intake valve. If you put it on backwards, the big intake valve is going to hit the piston and bend the valve. Okay, and when you put your rings on, the gaps on the rings have to be opposite each other over the wrist pin. See, that's the way the wrist pin goes. The oil ring doesn't matter. There is no gap. Okay, so that takes care of that. Okay, next. Okay, setting the timing. A lot of people don't really know how to set the timing. And when I set the timing on any of these motors, I don't even look at the timing mark on the flywheels. You don't really have to. Okay, so this is what you do. Let me show you. Okay, this is a steel ruler here. And see, over here I have it marked. That's 7/16. Okay, so watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put this in the spark plug hole, turn the motor over. See, it's coming up. Okay, then it goes down. See that mark? It's lined up with the threads in the spark plug. Okay, that's 7/16, 437 thousandths before top dead center. Okay, now to make sure you don't have to go 180 degrees more, see the 2 front push rods? They're supposed to spin. Here, look at that. See, they don't spin. So I have to go 180 degrees more, and then the push rods will spin. Both of them have to be down. Okay, see that spins and that spins. And now the piston will be 7/16 before top dead center. And then you set your timing with the high mark. See, there's a sharp lobe and a long lobe. The sharp lobe is where the points are just starting to open. And then you lock the plate down. You do the same thing on a 1970 and up shovel head. Okay? See, this has the points advance here. This is what the points advance setup looks like. See, when I turn it, the weights open up. Okay, over here's the point, the sharp side. This is the long side. The points go right here on the sharp side, just starting to open. Before you set the timing, you have to get the points on the top of the lobe and set the gap at 18. If you have a magneto, the gap is 15. Okay? This is a tool I made. It's very easy. Just take an old set of pliers and cut out the middle, and that will go around the bolt there. And see, it's turning. See that? Okay, so you hold it like that, and now you turn your plate until the points just start to open and lock down the 2 screws. Okay, everything is real easy if you know what you're doing. You don't have to turn it around and look for the timing mark. This is the timing mark. It's always in front of the crank pin nut. See that? That's for the front cylinder, that's for the rear cylinder. Okay guys, that's the problems that most of you guys have that call me. And if you do everything my way, you're not going to have a problem. But if you think you don't know what you're doing, I'd rather you call me up, and I could tell you the right way to do it on the phone. I don't mind you calling me, as long as, you know, I did the stuff for you and you want to know how to put it together. I don't mind. Okay, well, any questions, give me a call, 719-683-2200. I hope you guys learned something. I do my job perfect. It's up to you guys to finish my job perfect. And you'll have a long-lasting motor. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.